Hey everybody, it's Jason from On the Play Games, and today we're going to have a little bit of fun with a deck list that I've been kind of tweaking since the spoiler season started with all the new cards from set 4, and as they kind of came out, I started kind of tweaking one of my favorite decks, Sabine, ECL, and now that we have all the cards, I have been kind of tweaking the deck a little bit. It may be one of the decks that I just kind of fall back to in our Hyperdrive event coming up this Sunday, March 23rd at Synergy Gamers. Make sure you check out the last video we put out for some information about that, plus all of the videos that we put out before about how the player boards work, the additional rewards that we're giving out for players. And remember, in this event, it doesn't matter if you played in any other event, you still have a chance of getting some additional rewards given to you just for turning out. This is our way of saying thank you for being part of the community and being one of the players that comes out and enjoys the fun. It's all about the players. We really do want to have a good time. But in this video, we're going to do some play testing with my version of kind of Air Force Sabine. It is been tweaked several times now that we have the new Chewbacca, the new Millennium Falcon, the Sabine's Masterpiece, the Luke Skywalker Pilot, the new green-white A-Wing, and some other cards like the new R2-D2. We've kind of shifted from cards like Sindari Peacekeeper and Fighters for Freedom that were 3 drops. We were kind of filling in spots there. We've also, because we've got a lot of pilot upgrades, we've dropped some of the upgrades that would go on to ground units to kind of balance that a little bit. And it is an impressive deck. Plus, there also is the possibility with this deck to create kind of a turn 1 combo in the with the use of they hate that ship, which we're not diving into that yet. But keep that in mind that on turn 1, you could put out the new Millennium Falcon on turn 2, be hitting for like 9 points of damage, which is insane. Okay, but we're going to do some play testing. I want to show you the deck real quick, and we're going to do that on the other side of this. Let's take a look at the deck list that we have. This is our Sabine ECL Air Force. And as you can see, it has some of our golden oldies in the form of the Battlefield Marine. Can't beat a 2-drop. It gives us 3/3. It is probably one of the best 2-drops still in the game. I've been trying to make Darth Vader, old school Darth Vader, and the new Darth Vader work. And I keep finding that anything that's got villainy plus a color in the 1 or 2 cost category, I'm finding that they either have a 3 toughness without a 3 power, or they have 3 power and they're lacking 3 toughness. And in both situations, it's just bad. If you got a 1-3 or 2-3, then a Battlefield Marine just kills it and it lives, and you still have to deal with a Battlefield Marine or a Sabine or something like that. On the flip side, if it has a 3-2 in this kind of ping meta that we have, it just dies pretty quickly. You don't want that with Tarkentown around. So we've had to kind of change things up a little bit with the Darth Vader list, and I'm still working on that. It does look like Vader Yellow is starting to look a little bit better than Vader Green. So with that said, I kind of shifted gears last night while playing with a buddy of mine, and we'll put up some of those videos later. I might get a chance to get them up today. But what I want to do is I wanted to showcase this deck as a air and almost a split. It's a very even split between air units now and ground units. And some of the gameplay, I hope to be able to show that how evenly this deck kind of defends itself on the ground, it defends itself in the air, and also assaults on both those fronts. We've got our R2. Now we have the set for R2-D2 because one, it is a 1/4 that we can deploy on the ground that has very good survivability because of that 4 toughness. But also it is a 0 cost pilot that gives a +1/+1 and the ability for an additional pilot to be put on whatever unit we put on. our target is going to be the new Millennium Falcon. That's where we want it to go, but it really could go anywhere. And on turn 2, you could put that on a A-Wing, either one of the green or the red A-Wing that you see in the deck list, and then throw on either Chewbacca or the new Luke Skywalker pilot, and you have created a giant ship that is coming in for massive amounts of damage on turn 2. And it kind of makes it hard to decide whether you want to play both those cards onto your unit or go ahead and throw a Fleet Lieutenant out and just hit for 5. The Fleet Lieutenant hitting for 5 does give you some protection against things like the Power of the Dark Side. That is a very strong card, so if you see blue on your opponent's side of the board, just be aware of that and go ahead and play your Fleet Lieutenant line of play and protect that air unit, and then go into your pilots. That's always a good idea. Plus, if you don't have a Battlefield Marine, you can always throw Luke Skywalker onto the ground as an additional ground unit. This deck does have 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of potential turn 1 units, not including the R2-D2s. You throw that in there, it's 5 sets. That's 15 turn 1 plays that you could make. It has, from the original Sabine, it has the Heroic Sacrifice. It has the Rebel Assault. We still have kept 1 additional Timely Reinforcement. That was a tough one to keep in because if you notice, it does not have the Sabine ground unit, and I'll explain why in just a moment. It has the Battlefield Marine. It has the original A-Wing, the red one. It also has Cassian Andor. Fleet Lieutenant is always a great card on turn 2. You just cannot beat getting in for 5 points of damage. It has the red 3 at 3 of. That was a hard one to keep at 3. I really wanted to bring that down to 2 to be able to kind of squeeze in our Sabine. But again, we'll talk about that in a little bit. It has the For a Cause I Believe In. There were a couple of versions of this deck where I tried 2 of those. It's good at 2, but it is something that puts you at a disadvantage against control decks because that card allows you to get those last points of damage in without having to have a unit on the board. It has our K2SO, Poe Dameron, and our Wrecker for our top ends. So that is the old part of the deck. The new part of the deck is the new R2-D2. We also have the new Luke Skywalker pilot. We have the new green version of the A-Wing. It is a 3-2, but do not count that card out. It is an amazing first turn play. And I'll explain that, why that and Battlefield Marine are so good in this deck. It also has the new Millennium Falcon. Absolute beast in this deck. And you can turn that card into a I think I turned it into a 9-8 or 9-10 on turn 2 and attacked with it. And then the following turn added another pilot to it and crushed it, and that was pretty much game. That was like 1 For a Cause to Believe in, and the game was over. It has the Sabine's Masterpiece. I played this deck with 2 of them. That card is so good if you play a green unit on turn 1, which is why the red Sabine was pushed out of the deck right now. I may put it back in because having a good 2-drop like Sabine is important for a deck like this. However, having a green unit allows you to ECL out on turn 2 the Masterpiece, turn it into a 4-4 before it hits whatever you're attacking, and it's going to kill most things and survive. All right, the P-38 being a big exception. All right, but usually you're attacking into their first turn play if you're playing against Boba Fett, and then the P-38 comes out and pings and kills it. In addition to that, you got your Chewbacca. Always remember, Chewbacca does not protect against damage on a unit. So if a unit takes damage from a spell or an ability from an enemy from an opponent's card, and it reaches its maximum amount of health, the game state kills the card, not the opponent's spell that did the damage. It only protects it from cards that have the word defeat or bounce. Okay? And that's it. That's what we've added. All right? After that, this deck plays pretty straightforward. In the sideboard, I put 2 Spec Force Soldiers just because we want to get around people who decide to put down a Lieutenant Chalison or Village Protectors and just kind of take away their Sentinel and run past them. We put 3. We went heavy here with the scanning officers. I expect the Han Solo double yellow, the old school Han, to just be better than it was. And I think everyone, almost every content developer I've seen that is a Star Wars related player and knowledgeable about the game also tends to feel like, this set 4 has done a lot of great things for Han Solo yellow, including the new Han Solo pilot, which basically just gives it like a surprise strike again. That's great because now the deck has 6 surprise strikes in it, and one of them sticks around afterwards, which is insane. Also allows it to make cards like Enfys Nest even more powerful and more just oppressive if it hits the table. So those are all things that you got to really be prepared for. And I think Scanning Officer gives us just a little bit more defense against that Tech and DJ combo. And if they ever put Tech down, you just lay down Scanning Officer and you take 3 cards and exhaust them, basically. In addition to that, I've got 2 of Wolfie. Wolfie's just fantastic against any deck that tries to use Restore to keep out in front of you. A lot of these decks are using bases that have more than 30 points to try to push Sabine even further. But you'll find this deck is much more explosive than the old Sabine. At least I hope we'll find that as we play. And then we have 3 Disabling Fang Fighters. I went up from originally having 2 to 3 because there's just that many pilots now being played. And I figured I'll always be able to pull this card in against a deck that's going with pilots. Now, there are some decks that warrant not bringing that card in, so I left it in the sideboard. It's not a card that I would want to bring in against, say, Piet. Piet's more about bringing in big capital ships and making big, like I tap everything out and slam a big ship on you. Not really about putting pilots on ships and building them up. So Disabling Fang Fighter is not that great in that matchup. So we're going to keep that one in the sideboard. And Piet's got a chance of being very well represented in the new meta. Other than that, we've got all your classics. So we're going to go into some games. Let's check it out. All right, before we jump into the games, I just want to give a quick shout out to the 4 shops that were part of our Hyperdrive series. That's Myrtle Beach Games, Grand Line Games, Final Round Game Shop, and this weekend we go into our finale on March 23rd, this Sunday, at Zenergy Gamers, where we get our first shot at being able to play some of these Set 4 cards and really showing what this Set 4 can do. All right, so we're getting into our first game against Piet Blue. We're doing a little good luck, have fun. I keep winning the coin flips. I don't know why, but I do love it. And we have a pretty good hand, a nice resource with our Cassian. We're probably going to go ahead and drop the Wrecker, and then that's going to give us 2 one-drop plays that we can start with. We can lane dodge out. We can throw an R2 on it. So I'm going to go ahead and keep this hand. We're going to drop this, and go ahead and be ready for it. Since we don't have Sabine's Masterpiece, I'm not too worried about dropping a red unit first. So I'll go ahead and put this out and see what he does. I'm going to go ahead and throw the... He does have the ability to go ahead and do a Power of the Dark Side on me, and I have a Fleet Lieutenant. So I'm going to go ahead and play this... we're going to cancel. We're just going to claim initiative. I'm going to go ahead and get in for the 5 points of damage with the Fleet Lieutenant. It's worth it. That's a nice card there, too, just to kind of go air and dodge. But eventually he's going to gum up the air. But double Fleet Lieutenant is just really, really strong. I'm going to go ahead and ditch this with the idea that I can put the R2 on one of my space units. And I'll go ahead and just hit 4 or 5 to the base. Now, if he does a Power of the Dark Side, I've got something that I can throw out with this Fleet Lieutenant. He, Admiral Piet, attacked my base. Okay. I am going to go ahead and... I'm tempted to claim initiative again on him. He still has 3 resources. I'm going to go ahead and put this on my guy and see what he does. He has 3 resources, probably a resupply. Oh, he just claims the initiative. Okay, we'll pass. I should have pinged him, but it's okay. This is another one of those hands where it's like really, really good. And we're going to be deploying here soon as well. The next thing I want to do is I want to keep the wrecker. We're getting kind of close to where that could be a thing. This is going to pump up a lot of units, but it makes me want to... he's going to eat up a lot. I'm going to go ahead and put this down as a resource. Now we have some things here. He's going to do something to... He's just going to attack with his Piet. Okay. I'm going to throw down another fleet lieutenant. I am going to attack with... they don't like to put a lot of things on the ground, so I'm going to attack for another 5. We're pushing some damage in, but he does have that 5-point base, or 35-point base. So we do have to respect that. I'm really glad I did this. One play, you may attach a pilot or upgrade to this unit. Has to be friendly, so that didn't work out for him too well. I'll swing in here, and I will go ahead and ping the bases. Then I'll deploy, and I'll swing in here. And we are looking really good right now. Double wrecker, I don't think we need 2 of those. I do see a very good line with this. And he is probably going to put a sentinel into play. So my first attack is going to be in the air, if I get a chance. If I don't, then I'm going to go ahead and throw the R2-D2 at the Piet. I'm surprised he didn't ambush with that. Okay, Overwind Barrage. He has a lot of targets to hit. Let's see what he chooses. I will say I do like this new interface they've created, especially with the resources where you have to like choose it and then say okay. In the last rendition of Carabas, you could accidentally... okay, so he did do that. Piet's probably going to kill this guy, so I am going to... I don't know if I want to do that since Wrecker can come out. I'll go ahead and attack the base. He has exhausted all of his resources. So the K2S is looking pretty good. So is putting out Red 3 though. Yeah, because now everything's going to hit for more. And I really don't care if he attacked. He had Fleet Lieutenant. That's Fleet Lieutenant. What did he attacks Fleet Lieutenant? He supposedly attacked. Oh, he killed the one that was okay. The one that I thought he'd kill. All right, so I'm just going to do that. That's fine. I'm going to do this. Just totally fine. And then he claimed initiative. I don't have a play. I'm going to go ahead and claim. Now we have Heroic Sacrifice. We have a red unit. So this will do a point of damage to the base when it attacks. I haven't used my ECL. This combo is super good. This is good. I guess the Sabine Masterpiece is going to have to go down. All right, so now I'm in a position where I could Wrecker, do 5 points of damage to his Piet, and then overwhelm his base. And that is very good. He is up against, he's got 7 points of life left. That was a smart play for him to go there. This is the point where I ECL out Wrecker. I'm going to defeat a resource. We'll go ahead and defeat this so we don't give away too much information. I'll do 5 points of damage. I'll trigger that. Now I can kill his Piet. He now has 5 points of life left on his base. I have a big fat Wrecker. Ooh, he went with a Sentinel. Pretty sweet. It's a 3/3 Sentinel. That's going to put the brakes on one of my attacks. But it doesn't stop me from, unless you drop the double Sentinel, then that would be good. Something about Academy graduate. Oh, okay. That's pretty good, but I'm still going to get a point of damage to the base. And pass. Now I got timely intervention. Ooh, that's nice. Rebel assault. I really have no reason to do anything. And he has the initiative. He's saying good game. Did he just claim the initiative? Oh, he attacked in the base. Okay, so then the wrecker. Do I want to get cute? We'll just attack with a wrecker to this end of the game. All right, there you go. I mean, that's against one of the coolest. You know, they say the blue version of that deck is great. I prevented him from being able to go into a situation where turn 2 he could do a power over the dark side. That was very important by doing the Fleet Lieutenant. That I could have gone with the use of the R2D2. I could have played that on turn 1, but then I would have lost the initiative, and I wanted that initiative so I could get the Fleet Lieutenant out. So again, knowing when to grab your initiative, really, really important when you're playing Sabine. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and move into the next game. All right, our next game, we're going to be going in playing against Yellow Thrawn. Again, I keep winning the coin flips. I don't understand what I'm doing that's making that happen, but wow, we've got a pretty good hand here. An easy mulligan with the Cassian Andor, and I've got 3 different 1-drops. The 4 Cause of Believing is kind of meh right now, but it is such a powerful closer. This is a hand I probably will keep. And then I'm going to put that down, and I'll go ahead and put one of our Fleet Lieutenants down. And we'll see how that plays out for us. Now, Grand Admiral Thrawn has that win defeat ability. He's probably going to play a Krennic turn 1. That gives him that double trigger ability. So I'm going to go ahead and put down the Fleet Lieutenant with the idea of trying to take out that Grand Admiral Thrawn. He puts down that. That's a great card for what we're trying to do. But I'm going to go to the base and make him attack my guy and kill it, which is the plan. And look at that. Okay, so that's beautiful here. This is looking a little weaker now. I think I put this down. And I'm going to attack the base to start with, which he's probably going to attack into my guy and then kill it, which is okay. Then he -1. Yep, that's what we expected. And then I'm going to go ahead and put out the Millennium Falcon. He may power the dark side it. Oh, no, he's going to do that. Okay. I'll claim initiative. Since he's all spent. Now look what we got. Okay. Poe's still a little bit high on the curve, but we're getting ready to be there. This card, he is a control deck. That's what I'm seeing right now. He is a control deck. And Poe has the ability to really put some pressure on. I don't have any green units to make this great, but I do have the R2. And I think I'm going to put the Poe down. I'm going to regret that later, I'm sure. But I'll go ahead and put out the Sabine's Masterpiece. And if he played Merciless Persecution, he's definitely a heavy control deck. So I have to watch out for the Super Laser Blast at 8. Resources. Okay, that's fine. I'm okay with that. I'm going to go ahead and put the R2 as a pilot on here. He's going to claim initiative. I'm going to ping the bases. I'm going to deploy and I'm going to attack in. And then I'm going to pass. He has a 30-point base. The R2 is sweet. I can swing in with this guy, which then would allow me to ping the base with this. I also have over here too. We're going to go ahead and resource this. And then we're getting to the point where I can bring out Cassian Andor ready as well. So I do like where we are. He does get first action. I'd hate for him to play another one of those. Okay, so he just kills my Sabine. That's totally fine. I think it's time to ECL, but I don't want him to really look at his cards yet. So let's... He has one resource left. I do want to do an extra point of damage. I'm going to do 5 points of damage to his base. I do. So I will go ahead and put out the K2SO. And that's going to allow me to do a point of damage to the base. He attacked my Sabine. He did the double. Let me look at my cards. I'm going to attack and then ping his base. And then he took the initiative. I'm going to go ahead and pass. Ooh, we got time of the intervention with a K2SO. We could do quite a lot with that. But I'm going to go ahead and resource it for now. I'm thinking that, okay, he took it. He took it, right? Yep. And then he made me discard a card. Okay, cool. No problem with that. I will throw out another. Oh, no, I didn't discard that. Oh, I meant to discard the other card. No, that's fine. That lets me play this. Oh, it was a double trigger. Man, that was massive. Okay, then we'll do this. And we're still going to get there. Even with my terrible play, I'm going to swing in with... can Cassian Andor do another point of damage to kill my guy before? No, I don't think so. I'll swing in with that. I'll swing in with this. I'll do the extra point. I'll do the extra point to both bases. I'll pass. Oh, we're looking good. We're looking so good. We are looking so good. I am not going to resource. We got Chewbacca onto this plus a for a cause I believe in. He attacked in for... He did something. What did he do? He attacked Cassian Andor. Okay. We're going to put... We're going to do something I... No. I think when defeated is more important. So we'll go ahead and put this on as a pilot here. And then I'll put this out. So I can get that extra point of ping damage and hit for 8. I am pressuring him. He can't defeat that guy. He is going to gain some life. He is absolutely exhausted. He put a shield on his unit, which is good. He's probably going to claim initiative. So, extra point of damage to the base, or 4 points of damage to the base, and look at my top 4 cards. Do I have anything in here? Ooh, a timely reinforcement. Not enough for me to be able to do what I want to do. I'm going to go ahead and play this. He claims. I attack. Do extra point there. Tap this. Do an extra point to each base. Pass. Now we got him in a bad spot. Ooh, a Chewbacca. He just quits. I don't blame him. I mean, he had 9 points of damage left on his base. He couldn't use a defeat spell to kill the Sabine's masterpiece. It was going to come in for 8. Plus, I was going to close it out here. Or I would close it out here by doing the extra point of damage from the Sabine's masterpiece to the unit to take off the shield and then follow up with the wrecker into his base. I mean, there was a lot of angles there to beat him. As you can see, super, super cool. We're going to go ahead and get into the next game. All right, this game we're against Wedge. I'm going to give it the old good luck, have fun. And again, I keep winning the coin flips. I don't know what is going on with my connection or whatever, but it's insane that I keep winning them. So we're going to keep this hand. We have a turn one play. We have an easy resource in Cassian. I love Cassian as an easy resource. We have the extra of the R2-D2, which I think might be what I let loose. And then we have all this action over here. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And turn one plays galore. I just dodge Sabine altogether. I don't even care about her. We'll pass. Now we got something to put on the ground if we want to, but I'm not really interested in the ground right now because of the Sabine. Of course, it does kill the Sabine if he happens to not claim initiative, but he is not going to let me get initiative. I'm pretty sure that's just not in the cards. So I will put that down. Now, one thing about Wedge is he's going to go to the air eventually. There's just no way around it, right? He does through the base. I am going to... It's like one of these things. Do I strap R2 up on that? Or do I just keep going to his base? I think I go to the base. Oh, wow. He claimed initiative. Okay. Ping each base. Pass. Oh, look at the heroic sacrifice showing up. I think right now I can probably put this down. We got a lot of... We've got 2 units on the field. He's going into turn 4. I'm getting ready to flip my Sabine and potentially just go nuts with it. He's got some Sentinel. That's pretty cool. His Sentinel's getting ready to be surprised, though, because I'm going to R2 as a pilot onto this, which is going to clear... I can heroic sacrifice with this, maybe? No, it's only +2. It won't clear it out, but it won't kill me. Okay. I really need to think this through. So, he gummed up the board. He really did. And he's got Tarkin Town. If he does 2 to that, then he kills it. I could heroic sacrifice it in. I feel bad about the R2 now being on there. I may have made a mistake by putting the R2 on there because I'm going to do 7 points of damage to that. He is tapped out, though. So this, I think, heroic sacrifice and this and just killing that. I drew another one. That is so sweet. I will get in for the 3 points of damage. I will play another one of these. I will do a point to each base. I will deploy, and I will go into the base for the full 3. And now we're getting ahead a little bit. Ooh, Luke Skywalker. I love it. Timely reinforcements. I think we can put that in the resource pile. And right now is Luke Skywalker is my play. So he went Fleet Lieutenant to blast out my guy. I'm going to go Luke Skywalker as a pilot onto this. He has 2 resources left. And I'm swinging in with 7, 8, 9, 10. That's a great place to put your pilot. Wedge on the ground, Luke on the ground. He is really trying to catch up. But unfortunately, he is not going to catch up. He is going to get his... He's getting crushed. I don't see how he wins this game because I can use this to crush Wedge and then do lethal to the board. I'm going to ECL out this. I'm going to do 5 damage. I'm going to do that. I'm going to crack the Wedge. I'm going to trigger this. I'm going to attack the Wedge, and that's game. All right. Wedge, I guess he drew a bad hand. He didn't really get any good... he's already left the game, or I'd offered him a good game. He didn't get any air units to slow down my air assault. And if you notice, I dodged him on the ground. I just didn't play units to the ground to end up getting eat up by the units that he was playing there. And he had to play pilots to the ground as well. He just didn't draw any air units. And again, Millennium Falcon. I mean, look at how much damage is in the air. There's 10 points I didn't even use. I could have done another. I could put 35 points of damage on his base there. Whew. You know. All right. On to the next game. All right. We are in the next match, and we are playing against Thrawn again. We're going to give him the old good luck, have fun. And again, I win the coin flip. I don't understand this. Every single time it seems like I win the coin flip. And we are looking at... Well, this is an interesting hand. I could put Luke on the ground, ECL out this into anything he puts in the air, or Fleet Lieutenant, which means I have a choice of R2-D2, Poe Dameron, or Chewbacca. I like these two cards together. Whew, this is one of the toughest mulligans I've had. I'm going to keep it because there's lots of options here. I think the Poe Dameron goes just because I can draw into another one, hopefully, by the time I need it. And I'm going to play Luke turn 1. And then it's Chewbacca, possibly. Right? So we'll go ahead and we will drop the Chewbacca. All right, that's our opening hand. We'll put out Luke. Now Luke is not the greatest unit. It is a 3/2 though, and it is green. So if he goes to the air with anything like the Infernal 4, I think is what it's called, I'll just ECL this into it, kill it, and hope that, you know, throwing the extra R2-D2 on it would be enough. He didn't even know what good luck, have fun meant. I'll go ahead and claim initiative because at 1 point of damage does not outweigh the 5 points of damage that I can do to him. Our opponent seems to be a little bit slower. Now, do I need 2 Sabine masterpieces? Well, since it's not going to be my next play, and I only have 1 pilot, I'm going to say no and put that down. Unfortunately, we did not get a Cassian Andor to make an easy resource. This is the first game out of the ones that we've recorded, I think, today that I didn't have a Cassian Andor. He's having a little trouble deciding his resources. I'm going to go ahead and put out the Fleet Lieutenant and tack in for 5 to the base. I could have went after his Dr. Pershing, but I'm fine with the Dr. Pershing being out. If he draws cards, he only has so many resources to play those cards with. And then next turn, I'm going to put out the Sabine Masterpiece, drop the R2-D2 on it, and go on in. He went ahead and did that. He's got 3 cards in hand. I'm going to go ahead and ping the bases. Let him do like a Power of the Dark Side. In that case, oh, there's that. I'll claim initiative because I'm going to ECL out into that. That's what Sabine Masterpiece has been waiting for. Okay, you gave him Sentinel. That's cool. What you didn't give him was the ability to stop that. I could ECL with this instead. Ooh, I drew a Luke too. That's a lot of heat right there. That is a lot of heat. It almost makes me want to drop this, but I am dealing with a very, very controlling deck. He's going to get a lot of cards in his hand for me ECLing out into this, but I'm going to have me a 4-2 on the table. However, if I K2SO into this, you probably could steal it, and then, but that takes 5. And gotta be worried about that. No glory, only results. I think that where I want to be is still ECLing out the Sabine's masterpiece and then throwing this on it after the attack. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and ditch this, making choices. We are going to go ahead and ditch this since we got one on the field. I am going to ECL out this into this, give this the boost. He is using this to, okay, use it. All right, I would do that too. And I've not done a lot of damage to his base for turn 4. I mean, he's kept me pretty occupied. He plays Vigilance. That's probably going to kill my Sabine masterpiece. At least that's where I would go with it, which would be kind of sad. But then I'm just going to swing 3 here. I guess I have to go into his guy. I'm just going to kill his Dr. Pershing if that's the case. I'd put a shield token on Dr. Pershing if I was him. Yep, well, I guess he milled me. Let's see, how can I do this? I would do 3, that put him at 4. So we'll go ahead and he is tapped out. We'll go ahead and do 3 here. He'll probably take the initiative at this point. You might draw. That'd be fine. Knowing that his Dr. Pershing's getting ready to die. Yep, that's what I would do. I'm going to ping the bases. Which is usually not the best thing to do when you're behind, but I'm getting ready to deploy her, so might as well. You claim the initiative. I'm going to flip her out. I'm going to do the 2 points of damage to her and 1 point to the base. 3 more points to the base. And I am considering just dropping the R2 just to have the extra unit, which I will. Okay, pass. And I drew another R2. Look at that. Look at that gas. Now the question becomes, do I put that down as a resource? We don't have any Cassians. I don't have any cards that are requiring me to go to 5 resources. I do have the ability to make this play into this play, or just play this. I'll go ahead and resource this, just in case I get a wrecker. But I'm pretty sure my play is going to be at 5 to go here and go ahead and, for a cause I believe in. And our opponent is taking his time, which is cool. It's important to take your time. He's at 5 damage. I've got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 points of damage on board. And I'm going to probably swing with the Luke Skywalker first. Seems how that is the easiest one to kill. And then I'll work from there. I got a feeling he's going to steal a card and kill it, which will probably be the Fleet Lieutenant, which will leave me with 6, 7 points that I threaten. Let's refresh the page just to make sure. He's still choosing a card to resource. All right, all right. By the way, guys, if you haven't been a part of our hyperdrive event, I just want to show off some of these things. The first one was the Myrtle Beach Games hyperdrive event that was dated and stamped with the January 19th, I believe it was, stamp on it. That's one of our initiative tokens there. Then our second event, this one was gorgeous, had Grand Line games on it, really cool. And also the date of 2/9 for that one. And then in addition to that, this one turned out really gorgeous. It's got the final round logo. Sorry if it's a little bit blurry on the film. And that was also our last event we did on March the 2nd. So if you haven't had a chance, we are going to be giving out some of those in the last event as well. Okay, so I have initiative. This for me is, okay, killed my Sabine. I don't have initiative. What did he just kicked her. Okay, kicked her to the curb. He spent all of his resources to kick her to the curb. So I'm going to do 7 points of damage. Put this out. And 4 calls I believe in. And this one I'm going to put... they're all good. I'll probably put that on top, that on top, that on top, that on top. And then we've done 13 to the base. We still are threatening a lot of damage. All right. And we have a Fleet Lieutenant and a Poe Dameron in our hands. Sorry, y'all did just get a text message for that beep in the background. One of the things about everything I'm trying to do is it is so hard to stay in front of all of what I have going on in life and be able to put out content that's meaningful. The Dream Crusher. I guess that's Noah. Okay, I have to call him back and figure out what he's talking about. Select between 0 and 1 to resource. I don't need to resource anything, so I'm going to say done. No need to resource. We'll keep all of our cards. I'm going to do at least 5 points of damage in my first play, unless he sweeps the board. Now, he does have cunning. All right, he entrenched that guy. Good play. Cannot knock that. I'm going to do this onto Luke and have him attack in, since he's the easiest one to kill. He still has 4 up, which will allow him to probably kill the Fleet Lieutenant, I would imagine. He was thinking I was going to put that Poe Dameron into play so he could just fell the dragon it. And it's like, no, not doing that. Another entrenched. Okay, well, he's not putting anything on the ground for a while. That's for sure. And I'm going to ping the bases. He's at 20. I got 10 life to go with this guy. No attacks that I can make. I'm going to pass. And I have 2 Poe Damerons and a Sabine's Masterpiece. I have no reason to resource, so I will say done. At this point, he's going to probably continue to resource. It would surprise me if he didn't. He did resource, so now we're going up on cards. He's going to start running out of cards. He kicked another guy to the curb. I am going to put out a K2. Well, he hasn't used one of those out the airlocks. Or I'm sorry, no glory only results. So another 3. I'm still going to do 6 points of damage to him. I mean, Luke, I can't even believe it stayed on the board. This is so silly that Luke has been able to get in for, 12 points of damage, 14 points of damage so far. Then I get in for the 1, He claimed initiative. I'm going to ping both the bases. And then I will go ahead and put out... I don't want him to do the K2SO thing to me. We'll go ahead and just put out a Podameron and see what he does. Now I'm really considering... This is sick. This is so sick. No resources. Yeah, he quit. At 5 life left. I don't blame him, to be honest with you. He had 3 cards in hand. Super Laser Blast was his only option. If he had it, he could have swept the board. I would have laid a K2SO into play and then forced him to have... No, I would not have laid a K2SO in play. I would have put the Sabine's Masterpiece and a R2-D2 into play, possibly. Or I would have gone K2SO plus a R2-D2 to just make sure you can't just power the dark side away. But K2SO with the power of the dark side, no problem. K2SO, when they no glory only results, it's a problem. But anyway, that was that game. We'll be moving on to the next. All right. We're going to be doing our last game of the day. We have done really well. We're going to give them the old good luck, have fun treatment. And again, I won the coin. Did I win the coin flip? No, they won the coin flip. Okay. So this hand is the first hand. And with this being the last game you watch, I'm just going to get destroyed against Wedge. We have beaten one Wedge player, but that Wedge player did not deploy any air units. Okay, so this has got a ground unit and an air unit that I can play into. It's got some turn 3 plays. It's got a pilot. We're going to be keeping it. We're going to put this guy down because he's too big. And then we have some decisions to make. I love this card, and I love this card. And both of these are green units. So, depending on where Wedge goes, we could dodge and then ECL out into his first unit play. So I don't think we need the red one. And then we can strap up the R2-D2, making it even bigger. So it's between R2-D2 or red 3. I'm going to drop the red 3 for right now. Okay. This is what we got. And he goes straight to the ground with Anakin. All right. He's going there. And he's going with a 30-point base. He's not even trying to Tarkin Town. I could play right into that trap, but I'm going to go into the air. And then I'm going to go ahead and put my R2 on him. And then I'll go ahead and ping the bases and I'll pass. All right. So that was pretty sweet. We've got a second Battlefield Marine. I'm going to put that in the ground or as a resource and see how that works out. And he attacks in. I'm going to attack in. He does for a cause I believe in. That is a kind of weak first turn or second turn play, to be quite honest with you. He's still keeping me away from wanting to play this. So I'm just going to put the Sabine's Masterpiece out. I believe he claims initiative here. I'm going to go ahead and ping the bases, and then I'll pass. I don't think I need a second Sabine's Masterpiece right now. This is where it's going to get fun. He swings in. Now, I can ECL out this right now. I can do 4 points of damage here. There's just so many options right now. I think I'm going to ECL out this into his Luke, do a point of damage to the base. That's totally fine. Don't even care. Still going to get the extra point in. I'm going to swing in here, give it a counter. Give a counter to that. Swing in for 4 here. ping the bases. That does keep me from flipping Sabine into that. But I think I'm going to go ahead and flip into it anyway because I get a point to the base. And then I'm going to pass. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to be at 5 resources. And I think I just want to go straight air on him. So I'm going to go ahead and drop this. And now he has a lot. He still has 12 life on his base. I have 12 life on my base, but I have a commanding lead. And he knows that I'm going to go in with that K2SO. He knows that's going to happen. Up he goes and takes out the Sabine. Okay, so I am now in a situation where I might as well go ahead and swing in with the Sabine's Masterpiece. Give it another token. That's fine. I'll just swing in here. And then he's dead. He's already dead. Turn 5, dead. I'm just going to go GG. And that is game. Wow. I mean, that was against Wedge so fast. Just amazing. Again, Sabine's Masterpiece. Once you jam her on the table and you've got a green unit out, that's where it's good. Plus, not only that, because I had the K2SO out, I got the experience token and the extra point of damage on the base. Now, for a second there, they were out-racing us. But we went ahead and kept pinging the bases. And we went ahead and rammed the Sabine into his Sentinel with the idea that I would take it down to 1 life, and I could swing in with the K2SO, kill it, do 3 points of damage to the base. The K2SO would die. That trigger would do another 3 points of damage to the base. So that would be 6 total and remove their unit, and then still be able to swing in with the Sabine Masterpiece for 5 and then another 4. I wouldn't get the extra ping though, but that's fine. We had no worries there. And the next turn, I was going to deploy 2 more space units and drop a wrecker. Guys, Sabine, or what I'm calling Air Force Sabine, is solid. I like it a lot. Now, I haven't gotten a chance to play the sideboard or play against Yellow Han, which is the real test. Yellow Han is the real test. But that was the last game we got time for today. We're going to go ahead and end it here. And I want to thank each and every one of you for watching. If it isn't for you guys, this stuff can't happen. So, again, this is On to Play Games, whether it's day or night. May you have a good one, and may the force be with you. Good night.